stress, anxiety, those extra cocktails, putting years of what you're seeing in the mirror. Ways to erase it from an expert dermatologist.
Je suis amoureuse de toi, duo.
What you need to know is that I got sleep last night thanks to you guys. And I am just a
Your eyes are twinkling. Yeah, they're twinkling.
Wow, is that a compliment?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, welcome to our twinkling next hour.
Marianne, D'. 1.
Yeah, we are certainly happy
Ami.
everyone's here, and there is, of course,
Il m'a offert un calendrier avec des chats.
We're joined as always by ABC Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jen Ashton, and we are tracking all of the day's major developments. So let's get right to the latest coronavirus numbers from Johns Hopkins University. Now, more than 10 million confirmed cases here in the U.S., with at least 238,000 American lives
Calendrier.
lost, as close to 4 million
Avec
Americans recover.
des chats.
At least very optimistic you could be about this news, about the Pfizer vaccine, 90% efficacy, but you also got some news now about a possible treatment for
Exactly. So yesterday, cautious optimism about
a
prevention. At the end of the day, we got
Rendez-
some
collègue.
encouraging news about treatment.
Une.
So what has happened is the FDA has granted
Une.
EUA emergency use
Collègue.
authorization
Collègue.
for an antibody
Il a rendez-vous avec une
treatment.
collègue.
Immune therapy. It is
A.
approved for out
Rendez-vous
hospital use.
avec
That
une
is significant
collègue.
for COVID-19 patients 12 years of age or older at risk for severe disease. So again, potentially really important for those who have obesity or elderly.
J apostrophe.
It is administered
Espère
as soon
que
as possible after
nous,
receiving a positive test
nous
for developing symptoms.
allons,
Here's the caveat, it does need
allons,
to be given intravenously, IV route, no out-of-pocket
nous,
costs for patients.
allons,
It shows
nous,
the FDA
bientôt.
really trying to be
Que faites-vous dans la vie?
preventing COVID
Que
cases from getting so
faites-vous
severe that patients would need
dans la
hospitalization.
calendrier?
Sounds
Calendrier.
amazing. How accessible is it,
Nous nous
though,
sommes
to
rencontrés au
patients
Brésil.
who would be eligible for this? Well, again, there's good news and bad news there. The drug maker has said that by the end of 2020, it hopes to have 1 million doses for 1 million patients. But we're seeing 100,000 cases in this country every single day, so it becomes an issue of supply.
J'aimerais tellement la revoir.
Dr. Jen, we appreciate it.
J'aimerais tellement la revoir.
We're going to turn now to
Aimerais
ABC's Kira
tellement
Phillips.
la revoir.
She tuned the latest headlines for us. Nice to see you, Kira. Good afternoon.
Je crois qu'il est amoureux d'elle.
We're all taking a deep breath. Hopefully I have a little twinkle in my eye too, Amy. It's nice to have a new week. Okay, good. Well, we begin with the Biden transition as it goes into high gear this week. The president-elect's team says legal action is, quote, on the table if the General Services Administration doesn't recognize the incoming administration. Now, normally, a winning presidential tickets team gains access to a variety of resources as they ramp up to take office. But so far, the GSA administrator
Il a frappé à la porte mais nous n'avons pas entendu.
in accordance with our 60-year tradition. And
Frappé.
shockwaves through the Justice Department after Attorney General William Barr, who has been accused of playing politics in the past,
Frappé.
cleared the way for the Justice Department to investigate unsubstantiated alleged voting irregularities surrounding President Trump's unfounded fraud claims. And as that news came forward, the head of the department's election crimes branch said he's stepping down from his position in protest.
Avons.
Federal and state courts have ruled 10 times in the past week against the administration's efforts
Avons.
due to no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
Pas.
And guaranteed access to health care
Entendu.
now on the line in the middle of this pandemic. The incoming Biden-Harris team expected to address ongoing attempts by the outgoing Trump administration to officially strike down health care. The Supreme Court will hear new arguments today brought by attorneys general.
Je suis amoureuse de toi,
States
duo.
that want Obamacare struck down, threatening the coverage for about 23 million Americans. Repeated efforts to strike down health care has repeatedly failed in Congress and the courts. And the Vatican released a new report into the sexual misconduct of ex-Washington, D.C. Cardinal Theodore McCarrick. The 400-plus page report looks at the former cardinal's misconduct through his long rise through church hierarchy. McCarrick was defrocked last year. And the powerful and poignant moment in Missouri between a father and a son. It makes my heart sing. This military dad, just back from service, surprising his young boy who was so stunned. You saw him just climb out of the car window and grab his dad. The never-ending hug that follows says it's worth weight in gold. All right, I'm already tearing up again. TJ, that dad, just back from a 4-month deployment in Afghanistan.
Je vais regarder le calendrier pour voir quand je suis libre.
You say you can't get enough. We've over years and years, we've had numbers deployed overseas, and we've seen a lot of those videos.
Calendrier. Pour.
Ever get old. So, Kara, thank you
Voir.
so much for that. We will see you again soon. And there is a whole lot more here on GMA3, heading to Washington, D.C. as the brand new representative of Washington State. A historic first. Well, we've got a couple of firsts for this
Calendrier.
The Pacific Northwest.
And seeing yourself reflected in the books you read. One Woman's Passion Project for little readers.
Friend just called you crazy. We all need someone who'll pull no punches and give it to us straight. Now imagine getting your news like that. No bull, no spin, just give it to me straight. Straightforward news, straight to the heart of the story. ABC News, straightforward.
You're on the ground. You're on 18,000 tons. Ismail? David. Ground zero from Hurricane Michael. You can see just home after home. This was your news.
Yes, mornings may look different these days, but where you start your day, where you spend your mornings, where you get connected to everything that's happening.
And face it, there's a whole lot happening in our world these days.
Where you get all the breaking news information of the day to help you navigate through these times. That's why we're here.
Good morning, sunshine.
And making sure you start your day off with a smile and some sunshine.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Oh, how I love saying that.
Wake me up.
Friday nights, Night Central, true crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues, The Hunt, True Crime, 2020, Friday nights, Night Central on ABC.
1 week ago today, our next guest made history when she became the first Korean-American woman elected to Congress, as well as the first African-American representative to come out of the Pacific.
Yes, a lot of firsts there. And Congresswoman-elect Marilyn Strickland joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. And you tell me, how do you balance that? The celebration of saying, okay, yay, I'm the first, and then, wow, why am I the first? It seems like it's been so long. How do you make that balance, if you will, between the reality of why you're the first in the first place?
Well, the balance is you are honored to be the first. You never want to be the last. And then in the other respect, you ask yourself, what took so long? But, we're celebrating. We're excited about the opportunity to represent the 10th Congressional District of Washington State. But it has been a whirlwind since the election because you're just immersed in getting ready to set up your office here in the district in Washington, D.C. We'll be going to Washington, D.C. to start our freshman orientation later this week. And so it's been very busy. But as I say, it's just an honor and a privilege to have earned this.
Well, a big congratulations to you, Congresswoman-elect. And I want to let our viewers know a little little bit about your story. You were born in Seoul, Korea. Your father, a member of the U.S. Army, met your mother while he was stationed there. I'm curious what your mother, your Korean mother, thinks about you, her daughter, being the first Korean representative in the U.S. Congress. What has she had to say about all of this?
Well, I tell people that my mother is my hero and my biggest fan. And if you think about my family story, it's pretty remarkable that I'm here today. And my father grew up in the segregated South, joined the segregated Army. My mother survived an occupation and a war. Our family came to the States, and here I am. I was mayor of my hometown, and now I'm sitting here today representing us in Congress. So she's incredibly proud. But in typical fashion, she said, "Now you have to work really hard to make sure that you're going to deliver for the people you want to represent."
Are you absolutely, is this the American story now? Born in Seoul, father who joined the Army in segregated South, the Korean mother, all these things. Now, and you're going to Congress. Is that now the American story more so than anything else? Are you representing it more than anything you've been going to?
I will say that my family's journey represents what is possible, but I'm also acutely aware of the challenges that we have in this country today. And so I tell folks, from the time I grew up to where we are now, clearly there has been progress, but at the same time, we know that we can do better to address so many things around inequity and opportunity and just making sure that, people can fulfill their destiny.
And just going to bounce off that point, what do you want to see change? What do you want to see passed?
Yeah, well, I think about my declaration of my candidacy back in December, and this is pre-COVID. And for me, this was always about economic justice. It was about the opportunity to provide good jobs for people, economic security, looking at, the things that people, just basic needs, having people meet their basic needs, housing, education, healthcare, all those things. With COVID, we know that going into the next Congress, we will still be in the middle of this pandemic. And so hopefully we'll be able to provide relief funds and get cash into the hands of people who need it most. I am hopeful that we will have a national strategy. And I say that because, we kind of have this random 50-state strategy, and we need a national plan, and maybe even something that says we need to all mask up for a while.
Do you see the election